You need to understand spousal benefits. I was talking to a woman at one of my events recently, and she had no idea that even though her husband had a benefit, she could derive what's called a spousal benefit off of his. Hey folks, this is Colin Richards, and I am once again excited to be talking to you on the subject of how to claim and get what's yours when it comes to Social Security. And that's what it's all about. In our previous segments, we talked about what it means to know that Social Security is going to be there as part of your overall comprehensive plan. It's vital for you to understand those benefits. And then in our second segment on Social Security, we talked about how you can maximize those benefits to make the most of them. There are all kinds of reasons you may want to maximize, but sometimes there are other events and circumstances in life that may cause you to want to do things a little bit different or in a little bit more sophisticated way. As we've told you, there are 567 ways to claim, 2,728 rules. It can be very overwhelming, and it's something that we love to sort out. We love unwinding that ball of twine, getting the knots out for you so that you can know, hey, I did everything in my power to make sure I got everything I should out of Social Security. And so one of the areas that's often overlooked, misunderstood, or just people are generally unaware of are what we call derivative benefits. These are the special benefits that are derived from somebody else in your household. So let's start with a very simple one, okay? You need to understand spousal benefits. I was talking to a woman at one of my events recently, and she had no idea that even though her husband had a benefit, she could derive what's called a spousal benefit off of his. Having not worked, having devoted many, many years to raising children and supporting her husband's career, it just doesn't seem fair that she wouldn't be able to benefit. And guess what? Social Security allows for her to receive a special benefit on his, even if she doesn't have her own. Here's the trick. The highest earner, or the person that we're getting the benefit from, must be taking their own benefit. So in this husband-wife scenario that I was discussing, he must start his benefit. And the person who wants to take the spousal benefit must be at least 62. Now here's a trick. Let's say he's 67, taking a full benefit of $3,000. If she starts at 62, she'll get a reduced spousal benefit. But if she'll wait until she turns 67, she'll get half of that $3,000. So if he's getting $3,000 at 67 and he continues to take that, once she arrives at full retirement age, she can take half as well. Again, you could start that spousal benefit a little bit earlier, so long as he is taking his benefit. Or in this case, sometimes the wife is the highest earner in the household. But either way, if you wait till 67, you get the maximum spousal benefit. So guess what? We work that into our plans and we apply the math to make sure it's done right. What's another derivative benefit? Well, what about those who've been divorced, right? This affects more than half of marriages. Well, I often use the example of Hollywood starlets that marry and remarry, and of course, Elizabeth Taylor was known for this. Well, here's the good news is that if she was going to take a benefit off of somebody else, all she had to do was pick any marriage that lasted at least 10 years and take a spousal off of that. Take a spousal off of that marriage. So as long as the marriage lasted at least 10 years, you can get a divorced benefit, a spousal benefit. You can also claim on a deceased ex. That's right. Even if he or she is gone, so long as you did not remarry before 60. You say, Colin, these rules are starting to get complicated. Well, I'm telling you about them because I want you to know there are special benefits your advisor may not be telling you about. Things that you may not even be aware of. Well, at Lord & Richards, we specialize in helping you retire and retire well. And one of the critical areas is to make sure your advisory team understands and is expert on Social Security. And then what about, as long as we're talking about a deceased ex-husband, what about just normal survivor benefits? What if you've lost your loved one? Well, here's good news. You can actually start taking that benefit as early as 60. So you don't have to wait till 62 or later. And you can begin to take the benefit of the spouse that has passed away. Now, if you're age 50 and disabled, or if you have a child under age 16, you can actually take that benefit even earlier, right? Our system has compassion built into it. So if you've been widowed, you can start taking that benefit as early as 50 under conditions of disability or a child with you in the home under age 16. Now, here's one more. What if you have the potential of having a higher benefit down the road if you wait on your own personal benefit? And you say, oh man, well, what you can do is you can file for that widow benefit, and it's called a restricted application. You start taking the benefit off your deceased loved one, and then later on, when your benefit is larger, even as late as 70, you can switch over to your larger benefit. That's pretty cool. And we can help you, of course, do all this math. So here's a couple of quick reasons why this is so important. Let's say we've got a husband and wife, or a wife and husband, doesn't matter who's the higher earner. The husband's getting the max benefit of $36.27 a month, age 67. The wife's getting half of that. That's a little over $5,440 a month. Well, what if your husband, or what if the wife who's earning more passes away? You lose the lower of the two benefits, and the survivor steps up to the higher benefit. But here's the planning challenge. That's a 33% reduction in lifestyle. So what we do at Lord & Richards is we simulate that for you. What if he or she dies early, impacting your income? What if there's a pension involved? We see this all the time, where maybe the husband selected a single life pension, or the wife. Well, we're going to lose that pension too. And if they had a $2,000 a month pension, taking in a $3,627 a month husband benefit and $1,813 spouse benefit, well, we lose the husband's pension and the lower benefit. That's a 50% reduction in lifestyle. Folks, it's critical we have a conversation. I would love to talk to you about how you can achieve financial independence without worry, and that includes making sure you're getting everything that belongs to you out of the Social Security program. It just starts with a simple phone call.